Hello everyone, this is Dr. Aeronautics. Welcome back. Today we will be driving a MARC HHP-8, although it's not sporting the MARC livery, and 7 Bombardier bi-level coaches. We will be driving a somewhat limited express train from Washington Union Station to Baltimore Penn Station. This is train 438 in the winter. We'll be stopping at Union Station, New Carrollton, Odenton, Halethorpe, West Baltimore, and Penn Station. Today I can confirm that the weather showcased here in the simulator matches the weather in real life. There is a coating of snow, and it's like 15 degrees out right now. So this is somewhat realistic today. We'll be driving through the sunset. Sunset will occur behind the train. I would like to state that I know it's been a while since I've last made a video. I've been extremely busy with work, putting in a ton of overtime, and that's a one-time thing that should not happen again unless I change jobs. So apologies about that, but I think we're pretty much on the other side of it now. If not, we will be in just a few weeks. So I'm planning to go back to more videos again. No surprises there. Okay, departure time is at 5:20, and just like before, I'll have the HUD hidden for most of the time, but in the meantime, we'll just make sure that we have the train set up for departure. That's a shame, the cab heater doesn't function, because now would be a great time to use it. You'll notice that we only have one train set display here on the heads-up display. That's because if we were driving an Acela Express, we would have one each for each power car, but because this is an HHP-8, it uses the same display, but there's only one traction source, which is our power car here. Oh, we're actually going to be going backwards in the passenger compartment. And that, honestly, that's not a problem because you can't really turn the view around here. So I'm okay with that. Okay, we should be all ready to go. We have 1 more minute to go. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the new mods loaded up into the HHP-8 for ACSES, so we won't have that functionality. I only had time enough to pump out one video today. I could not install a mod, do some research, do some debugging, then make the video. I just don't have enough time right now. I barely got this one out as it is. So we're trying to work up to that at some point. What is your problem? You've been like staring at me and like shaking your fist at me. Oh, I see. You're on the phone. I'm gonna say you're on the cell phone. Okay, time to go. Alright, so we've got a clear signal that we're coming into now. Graphics do look very nice with this angle of sunlight, this mixture of sunlight and shadow. See the sun, we're heading pretty much due north. The sun should be off to our, what is that, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock? Whatever this direction is. I guess that's 8 o'clock. Okay, so we're due at New Carrollton at 5:32. And we have the permission to use the Class B speed limits, and this train and equipment are allowed up to 125 miles per hour, and I intend to reach that at some point. Not sure if this is the original horn or a horn that I get an upgrade, but I think it sounds pretty nice, to be honest. It's a lot better than the one that you get default in the old Microsoft Train Simulator, which sounds so... Ooh! Okay, alerter's working. Which sounds something along the order of... You know, not something that you would... In fact, it sounds kind of more like the GG1 horn. That's probably where they got the sound file, to be honest. There it is. Very nice. Okay, we're going up to, not 95, right? No, it is 95. Okay. There's a huge difference between half power and full power. I figured we're accelerating slowly enough, I'll just go ahead and put it up at full power, and then we just started taking off. And the train, the locomotive is making a little bit of rocking motions, which tells me that it's getting pretty close to losing wheel slip, and there is snow on the ground, so that's not entirely out of the question. Alright, let's try full now. Okay, that's much better. Alright, and we should be seeing the 125 coming up as soon as we get to the milepost sign up ahead. There it is, and that would be milepost 133 on the left. This train is pretty heavy. I am hoping it gets up to speed. In real life it does. It kind of looks like we have somewhat realistic physics active. I don't remember installing a mod for this locomotive. That looks like a stop train. Okay, he's not stopped. I'm trying to figure out if I need to put the bell on or not. Okay, well, we're doing okay with speed. Even if we stop accelerating now, I'm okay with the speed that we're going, and it looks like we're actually going to get there, because we're still going up at a pretty good clip. And then, of course, as soon as I say that, we stop accelerating. So I did manage to, my guess is that this train uses a lot of scripting, borrows it from the Acela Express. I managed to re-script the locomotive to get it to push the acknowledge plunger when I press the Q key, which also maps to the alerter key on my rail driver. It got really bad when I tried to first use the Acela Express. Because I had no way to quickly press the plunger. I couldn't even hit Q. I had to seriously come down here and just grab this like that, and it was an absolute mess. Thankfully, I got it sorted out, and when I have some serious amount of time, we can do a video with full realism on the Acela Express. That will be very nice. It looks like the sun is setting right now, which I think is exactly 1 hour off of the time that it normally does in real life. Oh, that is an approach limited. Hey, it's working. I think the script actually borrows between the Acela Express, because it seems to be behaving the way it should. So maybe I do have the mod installed. So far, the signal behavior is has been realistic in how the alerter's been calling out. On second thought, I'm gonna do my picture back here, make it a little less obvious that I am driving an Amtrak locomotive. Yeah, coupled with the horn and the fact that the signaling seems to be good, I'm going to say that the mod is effectively installed. I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised that I would not be surprised if that's because I've forgotten that I've installed it in the first place, just because of how scatterbrained I've been over the past month and a half. Okay, so it's 5:30 and a half, so we've got about a minute and a half here at Carrollton. Okay, departure time. Next stop is Odenton at 5:45, and we are allowed to leave as early as 5:40. Now, one thing that I do know for sure is that I didn't create a custom path for this service. We are going to be taking the outer track, which has a speed limit of 110 instead of 125. So that means that we are going to have a tendency to go a little bit slower, be a little bit later on the schedule. So if we get to a station that we're allowed to leave 5 minutes early, I'm going to take the opportunity while we're ahead. Okay, so that's a limited clear, so we'll continue accelerating to 45. That is the Washington Metro Rail Orange Line yard. Had to open that to make sure that the alerter is not going off in the cab. Okay, 110. Except this is a 105. Forgot about that. Okay, let's see. This is a 105. The next 105 is just after Bowie at milepost 120. Then there's the 95 coming into Odenton, which we probably... Actually, no, that's between the rivers. I think that, yeah, that 95 is for the Grove Cut. And then there's a second 95 at Odenton, which will not affect us. We'll be slowing down for Odenton at that point. Let's try out our cruise control. I know the cruise control works, and it works with the vanilla, but not the mod. So if I turn on cruise control, and cruise control doesn't function, then that will tell me for certain that the mod is installed. Yeah, right down this stretch of rail, you can see the winter sun typically setting right here. I'm going to say it's gone. So that means by the time we get into... cruise control is acting a little bit strange. By the time we get into Baltimore, it should be just about dark. And I should mention, MARC actually still does operate the HHP8. Amtrak does not, but MARC does. Alright, 107, 108, alright, 109. Call it there, put cruise control on and see what it does. Here we are, being the fastest commuter train in North America. Allowed up to 125 or 200 kilometers per hour. Okay, we're coming up to the 105. And we're back to 110. Yeah, cruise control is acting very strange. It's like cruise control disables the power entirely. So what that tells me is the mod is installed after all. All right, crossing the Patuxent into Anne Arundel County. So that means the 95 is coming up now. So I'm going to let our train decelerate up the hill. And actually, I'm going to have to add some braking here. Okay, I didn't see the water, but that must have been the Little Patuxent. So as soon as we get the maintenance away yard lead, that's our breaking point for Odenton. Seems like there's two braking levels, full application and minimum application. Oh, that's weird. Well, I guess the tracks are going a little bit further north, but apparently the sun did not set yet. It's a little bit strange. Oh yeah, this weird effect where it gets like super bright in the sky means that the sun is setting. So it's literally happening as we speak. And the pink clouds are a little bit realistic in the sense that the sun is still illuminating them, although it looks like it's setting for those as well. It's 5:43, so we're 2 minutes early. I'm taking advantage of this and being on my way. Okay, next station is Halethorpe at 5:57. Can leave as early as 5:52. So it's going to be a little bit unconventional, our speed manipulation between here and Halethorpe, because just about every train stops at BWI except ours. And we stop at the station before, Odenton, and the station after, Halethorpe. There's some really weird lighting effects going on right now. Starting to remind me of open rails. The color of the sky changes based on the direction you face. So the curve before BWI will be a 90, and because we're not stopping there, it's going to affect us. Then the curve after Halethorpe will be a 105, so that's the only concern. Although probably really close to that 90, we're going to be seeing a approach medium for Halethorpe. Hopefully not before BWI, because I know we received that signal pretty early. It's before we cross the Patapsco into Baltimore County. Come on, there's not like some kind of sunshade to like... There we go. Coloring is very strange. Let's see, maybe I could turn my cab light on. Okay, here's BWI runway 10, so we're going to begin slowing down to 90 at this point. Let's see, cab lights. Oh, it was somewhere around here. That makes it a little bit less awkward. Looks like it doesn't fully get rid of it. Okay, so I think it's right around the next turn. That's when we're going to see a... Yep, there it is. That's the approach medium. So we're going to get down to 45, and I'm pretty sure it is a medium, so when we get up to the signal, we'll have to go down to 30. But it's not too bad. I think we're only about 3/4 of a mile from Winans right now, so that's good at least. I'll go most of the distance. Okay, here's the Patapsco. Now we're crossing into Baltimore County. And I don't think I've been mentioning it, so I'll mention it this episode where we actually enter Baltimore City. Because in Maryland, Baltimore County is independent from Baltimore City. It's its own jurisdiction. In addition to being incorporated. Okay, it looks like darkness is upon us in just a few minutes. Alright, let's see if we can't read that signal quite yet. We'll probably be hitting the Baltimore Tunnel right as the last light of day vanishes. Nope, that's a limited, so we are going to stay at 45. It is 5:52, and we can leave as early as 5:52. So we'll be on our way. Next is West Baltimore at 6:03. One thing the simulator's missing, there's a pedestrian bridge right here. Well, it's not its own bridge, but it's a set of stairwells that lead to that upper part of the bridge. It's kind of interesting. Before they built that new pedestrian bridge, that sort of peacock green one over at Halethorpe, the only way to get there was to come all the way up to that bridge, which I'm pretty sure is... no, that's not one. It's something Avenue. I forget what the name of that road is. Alright, so here on track A, we're limited to 60 miles per hour. Okay, so this turn, if we were on the number 1 track, would be a 105. We're going to pass under the southwestern section of the Baltimore Beltway right here. And just about when the curve here straightens out, that's when we actually enter Baltimore City itself. Okay, entering Baltimore City right now. So thinking back to it, going into the BWI turn, we were a little bit late, and we did not get an ACS-CS bleeping us, so that tells me that the mod isn't installed, but it's borrowing some aspects from the Acela Express. I think that's where I'll stand on that question. So we did get an approach medium, and that means when we get to it, we will need to do 30. But That is after the West Baltimore station. We won't be up to speed at that point. Stopping for West Baltimore is really tricky because the platform is very short, so you have to line up the cars. Ah, just missed it. I missed it again. This is so annoying. The problem is you can't open partial doors. I'm sure in real life Mark would purposefully put 2 cars across the station because they can get more doors open. There we go. Because that way, instead of loading through 1 car, you can load through 2 cars. And for some reason I didn't hear the bell going off, but it appears the doors are closed. Let's see, it is 1800. We're due at 1803, and we can leave 5 minutes early, so we'll be on our way. Sky looks real nice right now. A little bit brighter than I was expecting at this point, but that's totally fine. It's nice to see more of the above ground world while you're above ground. And then it'll be dark pretty much as we go underground, so we're not really missing anything. Okay, and up on the gantry there is our approach medium. And then not too long after that is a speed limit of 30 on track 2, so we'll pretty much just stay right at 30. We've got a long train. And this is going to be US 40 right here, Edmonston Avenue, that we're going under. Perfect timing. It's getting properly dark now, and we're going underground. That was a restricting signal, and we got that because we're going into a pocket track. In all, I think this was pretty successful. For the most part, I think the cab signaling that we've had, ATC has been doing a great job. ACSCS isn't fully functioning, but it was nice and smooth from an operational perspective. Let's see, it's 1807. That's right, this is a 15. Keep forgetting, this is a terminal train. We actually stopped here. We're due at 1819, so we are early at the end. In all, a very successful run, and it was nice to get on the rails again, or the simulated rails, just even if it's for a couple minutes. So that is very nice. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you quite a bit in the near future. Thank you all for joining me. Bye-bye.